Hey everyone, Ryan here. This is close to the view you're going to be seeing in part of my videos for Steel Battalion. Now, before I start that game, I figured it was necessary to give you guys just a little bit of an idea of what the game is all about, so you have somewhat of an understanding of what's going on when you actually see the game in action, because I can imagine that it would be fairly hard to understand if you were completely new to it. So, I'm just going to go over a few points, and hopefully you can have a better understanding once we start playing the game. So basically the concept of the game is it's a mech game, but it's a very realistic take on the idea. The game is set in 2080, and these mechs are called vertical tanks. Most of the time I'll call these VTs. Basically they're this game's idea of weapons of the future. This game is most famous for its controller, which you can see behind me. Let me get you a better view of that a little. There we go. So this controller has 40 buttons and 2 joysticks, so it's a good time. It is definitely specifically built for this game, and I doubt it could ever be used real effectively in controlling any other game. Maybe a mech game, but that's just about it, and it's pretty much specifically designed for this game. And while there are PC drivers for the controller, the only game on the Xbox that it works with is Steel Battalion. Okay, so I want to give you a little bit of an idea of what you're actually controlling here, and how you're placed inside this mech, because the game really doesn't explain it very well. Basically, you are inside this mech. The cockpit closes, and you are completely enclosed in this thing. There are no windows or anything. So to see out of this, as you control it from inside, well, to see out of your mech, there's a camera on the outside, and you have a main monitor that shows this camera. There's also a few other cameras, like I'll give a front camera, back camera, lock-on camera in your sub-monitor, but you got this main camera, and that's where 90% of the game takes place. So you are in no way looking out of your VT. You're completely enclosed, and your camera is your only means for navigating around this world. Another concept which is important to understand before you actually know what's going on in this game is the movement of your vertical tank. There is what I like to think as 3 main axes in your control. There's what I call the ground level. Now that is simply your forward, your reverse, and you're turning left and right. Now this is like, if you were playing a first-person shooter, your turning is like on the right joystick, left or right, or if you're playing a PC shooter, left or right with your mouse. So that's your turning, and that is actually done with the left stick. That's actually done with the left stick, left and right. This left stick does not move up and down. It shouldn't. Mine does a little because it's getting worn out. But so that's your turning left and right control. Your movement forwards and backwards is controlled by a foot pedal. There's 3 foot pedals on the with this controller. The far right pedal is the accelerator, the middle pedal is the brake, and the far left is your slide step pedal, which I'll cover slide stepping a little bit later. But over on the end here you have a gear lever with gears reverse, neutral, 1 through 5. and that controls, obviously, the forward or backward direction. Now, getting back to the slide stepping I mentioned moments ago, slide stepping is a key element of this game, and it really distinguishes this game from other mech games. Now, it's a pretty unrealistic kind of movement, but it really defines this game, if you ask me. Basically, so what a slide step is basically like your strafe in a first-person shooter. My notes just went away. There they are. Okay. So the slide step is basically like your strafe in a first-person shooter. If you're standing still and you slide step to the left, you're just gonna move left. If you slide step to the right, you're gonna have a burst right. You can also slide step forward and backward as well. And this is all dependent upon your battery power, which I'll point out in the game. You can only slide step so much depending on your battery power, and there are also weapons that use battery power, and yeah, I'll cover that more in the game. But slide stepping is a very important tool for both dodging and maneuvering. So